To me, to be realistic is very important. I think that when people try and trick themselves and become too positive, I just think it lacks accuracy, okay? However, there is a certain strength in it. But I think that that strength is best realized only in the last couple days. Because at that point, reality doesn't need to be, you don't need reality at that point. What you need is you need bravery. And I try for the last approximately 48 hours to only think positive thoughts. So as soon as a negative thought starts to enter me, I try and wipe it. And I try and only be positive to a point where all my confidence goes up, everything is good. Yeah.
When you can only work out at the gym, what can you recommend? What exercises are especially good when you only have the gym, not when you're entering some special arm wrestling unit?
Yeah.
Especially in the gym.
Yeah. So at the gym, I would say, now you can't bring a towel or anything to the gym, is that?
Yeah, a towel of course.
What about a belt?
Yeah.
See, I'd bring handles to the gym. I would bring stuff to the gym and use the cable systems. I don't think that there's anything better than cable systems. But, you know, I used to do a lot of stuff on the incline, on the preacher, all the different hook cheats and stuff like that. I'll tell you, I don't think that they're actually the best thing for you. I really don't. You know, looking back on everything, I don't think that the angles are as precise as they could be. I think you should spend more time on cables. But I'd get on a cable machine and I'd work my wrist. That'd be the #1 easiest thing. You can go into any gym, find a handle that spins, set it up on a cable, and just work your wrist. I do that every single time.
Are you still doing this 80 kilo
curls? I wish I could. I can't do it, but I also don't think it's as important. I really don't. I think that most of the stuff is won in a position that looks more like this, you know, with a flat hand. And I think that the path to victory is normally coming through the thumb or bringing the shoulder forward. You know, I don't think that having the person somehow finding your bicep is necessarily a guarantee. I think that, you know, it's great against, if you know that every single person in the world you're going to face is a presser or a hooker, yeah, spend a lot of time doing this. But as soon as you run into kings movers, top rollers, posters, this strength, it's not there.
So this cupping thing.
Cupping is huge.
Yeah.
Cupping is, in my opinion, is one of those ones that's way up there. It's super important. Cupping, rising, rolling, supinating, and grip. I think that these are strengths that you cannot run from. You can't, and you can always basically access them in almost any way that you want. It's hard to find, like, you can find applications for bench press in arm wrestling, but only against somebody that's going to let you. A good arm wrestler is not going to let you use your chest. A good arm wrestler is not going to let you necessarily use, you know, what's down here. A bad arm wrestler will. So, but I think that you have to realize that you're probably going to be facing better and better levels of competition the further you go, and it's won and lost all in the hand.
It's all in the hand.
I think it's all in the hand. Yeah, like when you look at who are the best arm wrestlers, look at how they're built, look at their style, look at what they do. It's a lot of hand.
Your biceps is also enormous.
Bicep is important, yeah. Bicep is very important. Okay, there's a lot of this going on. But this, I'll tell you, a lot of this is still from a time when I was less educated. Okay, if I could go back, I wouldn't have spent as much time on bicep. I spent years working on my bicep. And I think that led, in part, to the problems I've had with my elbows. Because this style, this resorting to working off your elbow joint, it does put more stress on your elbow. I think that it's all short-circuited by good skill and good hand strength. I think if you have good hand, the elbow comes into play less.
What would you recommend for small hands?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing. Yeah, yeah. It's the same thing. Look at Rustam Babayev.
Yeah.
Okay, look at Marcio Barbosa. Look at Gary Goodrich. There's tons of people with small hands who are great champions, and they are following the same principles. It's really about the strength of the hand and learning how to arm wrestle well, and then you can access whatever strength you have in there. Having a big hand is just cheap. It just makes things easier. It makes it more likely that you're going to be sloppy. So you got to be better when you have a small hand. Yeah.
2 short questions. What do you think about partial reps, like doing only partial reps and training, like for max fighting, like let's say?
Yeah, that's all I do really.
Yeah. And a second question, just asked a million times, I think. Are we gonna see hook training 3 in the future?
I think you're gonna see me lifting some really good weights, but they're probably not gonna be in that form.
Okay.
Okay.
So a new series is starting.
Yes. Okay. And
something number 1.
Multi-spin.
All right.
Okay. Like when you see me post multi-spin, anything multi-spin, it's probably the most I've ever done. Okay. When I post multi-spin now, it's because it's the most I've ever done.
All right.
And those numbers are really like, I think all of the multi-spin lifts I've done in like the last 3 years, in my opinion, they're actually more impressive than hook training. Now, what I did in hook training 3, to me, that was like, I'm impressed that I did it, but if I had invested in hook training from the time I was like 18, and if I had that strength there, I think I would be a much more dangerous and deadly arm wrestler. Like if I could do like 180 pounds or 190 pounds on a 3-inch spinner off of one vector that I got to balance, that's super dangerous. It's super dangerous. As opposed to relying on somebody finding my bicep and then...
What is multi-spinner training? What is that?
So multi-spinner is a tool that I use a lot. It's just basically, so I'll make an imaginary multi-spinner really quick. Like you can, anything like this, you know, and wrap it so that it's like this, right? So this is the action, right? It's very simple, very simple. It's cupping, but because there's only one attachment, it's not, a lot of these spinners have 2, so it's stable, which is good, it's fine, but when there's one attachment point, it forces you to stabilize in kind of a weird way. And that ability to balance between in and out, that lets you become balanced at the table.
How does your warm-up and cool-down look like? Because I'm coming from a track and field background, so there's always, especially in Germany, Europe, the warm-up is very important.
Yeah.
So they say you just go for a run, get the blood flowing, you stretch, you have your drills, and then you start with your actual training, and afterwards you have a cool-down. And what about that?
Okay, so in training, my warm-up in training is, so say my maximum, say my real working sets are somewhere around 100 pounds, okay? I would probably start at like, and I'm doing 3. So say I had like 100 pounds for 3, that's my working set. I'll slowly work into it, 60, 70, 80, 90, lots of time between. I'm not doing any flexibility. I'm just slowly making the intensity higher, higher, higher. For competition, which is really most important, has a lot to do with breathing. Has a lot to do, so if I know I'm going to compete, probably about 15 minutes before the match, I'll try to supercharge my body with oxygen. Okay, so that'll be the first thing I want to do. I feel like it's a bank. Okay, and if you go into the fight with a full bank account, it's gonna take you longer before you become without oxygen. So I load my body. I start to move more explosively with my whole body as a unit when I'm about to compete. Like I'll start to practice, you know, like just faster movements, whole body, just to kind of get used to it. But I don't want to expend energy, really. I don't want to do a lot. Okay, so it's moderate. I don't necessarily warm up my arms because I feel that everything comes at a cost. And the truth is, in arm wrestling, the warm-up is built into the competition for you. Okay, there's this whole process when we come to the table. We start to grip up, we feel each other out a bit, we step away from the table, we come back, we might false start. We're getting the strap put on. This whole time, there is force being exerted, there's things happening. And if you watch a match, typically, okay, by the time you first touch that person's hand, and then after all that happens, and then the actual match actually starts, it can be 5 minutes. It can be 6 minutes. So this is, in my opinion, the actual warm-up. Yeah. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. I see a lot of people work with bands and stuff like that before. I think everything costs you something. Very little. Very little. I basically hit my max. It won't be long before I train again. Okay? So I normally do 3 workouts a day. Okay? So basically, the first thing I'm doing, as soon as I'm done my sets, I'm eating. Right? Like, I don't have a lot of time. I eat, and then I'll kind of do some forced rest. And in that period, I may stretch a bit. I may evaluate things. I may touch myself a bit, but not much, because I'm gonna go and do it again. I don't do a ton. Sometimes leading up to a match, I will do more. Okay. Sometimes leading up to a match, and then after a match, a lot of my workouts look more like just warm-ups. Okay? It's just, I'm just warming up, and then I'm done. I'm warming up, and then I'm done. Yeah.
So you train your same muscle frequently?
Yes.
What muscle?
I do the same things every single day, normally 3 times a day.
What do you do next day?
The same thing over and over and over.
But you are 44.
That's right. Yeah.
When you repair the body,
Regeneration.
in which time?
All the time. All the time. Now listen, believe me when I say that it is possible, okay? It's possible for everybody. But there's some keys that you have to pay attention to. The first key is you can't overdo it, okay? If you do too much, if you hurt yourself, then you're not gonna be able to do it, okay? Your workouts have to feel good. You have to always feel good. And what that means is that you can't lift some ridiculous amount of weight every single time. It has to be accurate. You have to work in the band where the intensities that you want to work that aren't going to damage you so much that you're not going to be ready for that next one. You want to look at, that's why I said the things that I learned this year, it's about making your vision long, okay? You need to work in blocks. I will do for 10 days basically the exact same workouts. The only things that will change is they will get harder and harder and harder for 10 days to where when it's that 10th day or the 8th day or the 12th day, that's the day that I'm done that block is the day where I start to think that these workouts are getting far too hard and I'm not going to be able to maintain them. Okay, so it's a wave, okay? Okay, but the wave isn't all in one day. The wave takes 10 days to get to. Okay, so by the 10th day, I probably won't be able to do an 11th. Okay, and then I switch it. Okay, I write down everything. Okay, every single, when I go into my gym, I normally only pick 2 exercises. Okay, so I walk in, I walk down to my gym in the morning, and I always have the same goals. To me, all those 5 exercises, they're all very important. But every single time I work out, this to me, super important. This to me, super important. I never miss those in a day. So normally
every day.
Every day. Every day. And not only do I do it every day, but every day I do more. A little bit in some way. I have a lot of variations, okay? One way I do it with a belt. The other way I do it with a towel. I do it from the floor. I do it from a pulley. I do it from the ceiling. Okay, but it's all the same thing. Okay, just small little changes. Okay, but I come down and I pick 2 exercises. 2 exercises, 5 sets. Everything's written down. The only one that is written down is the last set. The last set is the only one that matters. Okay, so say my cup 2-inch black handle on a vector that's coming straight is 100 pounds. My 5th set is going to be 101 pounds. It's going to be. Okay? And at the end of the 10 days, when I've cleaned up all my exercises, cleaned them up, pushed everything forward, on that day when I come down and it's 110 pounds and I'm like, that was really hard and it hurts maybe a little bit more than I wanted it to, that's when I'm done. And that's when I start at 3. And when I go back to 3s, they're all easy again. Okay? And I push it again for 10 days. And then when I'm done pushing my 3s, that stuff that was hard at the 10s is easy again. And this is the cycle that I go through over and over and over.
Can I ask a question? Is it that you work on your 1 rep max, and the first day you start with, let's say, 60%, and you work it up to 70%?
Every single time I compete, I take my entire record book and I stash it. Okay? I put it somewhere, I'll look at it, but it doesn't matter anymore. Because what the body really wants to feel is progression. The actual record itself isn't that important on a day-to-day basis. All that matters really is, am I lifting more today than I did yesterday? Am I lifting? And you can't, after you compete, you will be broken down. After you compete, don't expect to do anything good for 2.5 or 3 weeks. You can't. If you hit that intensity in competition, you're going to be broke down. If you even try to touch the weights that you're used to touching, it's going to set you back. It's going to push you further back. You're going to get injured. Everything is going to be bad. You need to reset. You need to go back to what feels good. But you still work out the same way. You still do 3s. You still do 10s. But it feels good. Okay? So I just had my competition 2.5 weeks ago. I got right back into the gym, doing 3s, doing 10s. But it's easy. It's easy. Okay? And I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward. You'll see probably in about 2 months, my records will be real. Okay, right now they're only paper records. Okay, in about 2 months, all those paper records will actually be my real records that I've ever done. It normally takes around that long for the training to really come to full swing. That's when it gets really hard. That's when this style of training becomes very difficult, and you have to, but believe me, it works. I've run so many systems. I've done fast days, slow days. I've done many different systems. At 44, I've never had my graph be as steep as these 10-day block periodizations. So I'd ask you to try it. It's
but you not train all time in this system, or?
Yes, all the time.
I say 10 years ago, not the same.
No, I've done periodization before, but I did it too hard. So I used to do periodization like years ago, but
and you say it's working good.
Yeah,
yeah.
So, this works. I think that I'm training better now than I've ever trained in my life. That's what I think.
But what do you think? You need time for this transformation?
Adaptation, to get used to it.
Yeah.
For this system, do you think?
Yes.
I say maybe for me, if I prepare.
Well, what you really have to do, the real trick to this system is being mature enough to not push it. What the beauty of the reason why this system works is it actually gives you more volume at the correct intensities. Okay? You're actually, when you add it all up, Like, so if I can do 10 reps and it absolutely kills me, and I can't do it again for another 3 days, or if I can do 5 reps instead of 10, and I can do it 3 times a day, every single day, when you add it all up, I've worked with that weight much more. Okay? And this is why
this is important, I think, for the system.
Yes. It's the most important thing. It's about understanding that you're not doing it all in one day. It's about how much volume you can pack in over a year, and that's the way you look at it. You just extend your vision longer, so you don't have to, instead of knocking yourself way down, you only a little bit, but then you can come right back again in a couple hours.
But you say so well, you will up, yes?
Yes.
And you kannst das Niveau halten, ja, trotzdem.
You can hold your level.
Yeah.
Ja, ich glaube, man kann...
If I prepare for World Champion,
Yeah.
or 30 Tour,
Yeah.
I prepare maybe 4 months.
Yeah.
And if I do this system, I train my hand,
Ja,
hammer class or so,
ja,
3 times a week. And after 2 weeks, I see my shape, it's
ja,
down.
ja,
Yeah?
okay.
For me, I think, oh, make a break on once a week, and then I pick
Yeah,
up. Yeah?
right.
And you do it, was ich fragen will, soll ich dann trotzdem weitermachen? Irgendwann
Ja,
finish?
okay. Ich lebe hier. Ich gehe nie hier. Die einzige Mal, dass ich komme hoch, ist, wann ich World Competition mache.
Ja, ist okay.
Ja,
Ja, ich mache nicht einmal. Ja, ich mache viele Wiederholungen.
Ja.
Aber ich merke trotzdem, zum Beispiel, ich mache jetzt 30. Ja, dann 30, 32, 34, 36 und dann geht wieder zurück. 32, 30. Ja. Machst du es trotzdem weiter? Geht es irgendwann wieder hoch? Oder?
ich bin nie schwacher. Es passt nicht. Ich tue es nicht. Ja, jeden Tag. Ich würde stärker sein.
Aber du sagst auch, einen 11. Tag könntest du das...
Ja, richtig. Und das ist, wann
Dann würdest du schwächer werden wahrscheinlich.
Richtig.
Und dann änderst
Okay.
du das Training.
Ja, genau.
Entweder schwerer oder leichter.
Ja, so,
Deswegen änderst du
und dann ich wechsle es.
Ja, das
Okay?
sind immer nur die Wiederholungen. Und
Ja.
mit den Wiederholungen wird es dann einfach.
Und-
Der macht die 10 Wiederholungen, so lange bis er es nicht mehr schafft. Und dann macht er nur noch 3, weil wenn ich nur 3 mache, dann kann ich es dann leichter machen. Das ist quasi die...
Und hoffentlich, ich nie bin schwächer. Nie. Hoffentlich immer höher. Immer höher.
Und wenn du dann 10 machst wieder nach dem nächsten Block,
Ja.
dann nimmst du mehr Gewicht.
Ja,
aber
und jetzt...
Du fängst nicht hoch an, sondern du fängst in der Mitte an. wahrscheinlich, oder?
Genau. Okay. Wenn ich komme zurück, okay, so ich habe es, mein 10, ich habe von 100 zu 110 getan und ich wusste, dass es wird zu schwer sein, so ich gehe zu 3 Mal. Und 3 Mal, ich bin 115 und ich mache es über 10 Tage von 115 zu 122 oder irgendwas. Und dann, wenn ich komme zurück zu 10 Mal, ich bin sehr stark und ich konnte vielleicht mehr als 110 tun. Ich konnte vielleicht 115 oder 16 tun, aber ich tue das nicht. Ich tue nur 111. Okay? Und dann den nächsten Tag 112, 113. Ich weiß, ich kann mehr tun, aber das ist nicht wichtig. Was ist wichtig ist, kleine Steppen jeden Tag.
Progress.
Ja, es ist sehr wichtig. Ich glaube, mehr wichtig als die Nummer. Ja.
Wie lange dauert ein Training?
How long
Ich bin sehr langsam. Ich sitze sehr viel. 1 Stunde, 30 Minuten ist normal, aber ich sitze sehr viel. Aber mein Leben ist sehr leicht. Ich konnte es schneller tun, aber normalerweise die Anfang ist langsam. Die 2 Exercise, das sind sehr schwer für mich. Langeweile, 1 Stunde, 10 Minuten und dann am Ende ich tue ein klein bisschen Conditioning manchmal.
So you train 4 to 5 hours per day?
Ja, 4 Stunden, ich glaube, ist ganz normal, jeden Tag. Ja.
Switch back to English.
Aber das sehr viel Zeit am Internet. Ja. Ja. Ja.
Wie oft isst du am Tag? How often do you eat each day?
Immer. Ich esse immer. Normalerweise.
Let's go back to English because
Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I eat a ton. And it changes. Again, like, I'll go through periods and I'll go through waves. Normally, my eating is quite balanced. I'll eat fat, protein, not processed, whole foods that are healthy, that mostly 95% of the world would agree with is the right and proper way to eat. And then what I'll do is I'll go through periods where I will eat to excess, okay? That means that I go to buffets and I can barely breathe, okay? Like, I can barely breathe, I go home and I can't even move. And then I'll eat a lot of sugar. And this will be the way I'll eat for about 3 weeks. And then after that, I'll go through a period of basically fasting. I'll be under my calories. Sometimes I'll fast for a day. And when I'm in periods of returning my body back to normal, I typically won't eat breakfast. I typically won't eat until about lunchtime. And this is a cycle that I'll go through. Yeah, I've been doing this now for many years. But most of the time, my goal is always to get bigger, to get stronger. So that's always my vision. I just know that for health reasons, I need balance. Okay, if I just always keep getting bigger and stronger, I get sick. I know this will happen. So I think you have to come down and come back up. Come down, and it's like the stock market. Slowly, it comes up, right? Yeah. Yeah, but maybe it comes back again.
After your first training session a day, after you're eating, do you power nap a little bit? Or
Do I
power
sleep?
nap?
Yes. Yeah, if I can, if my life allows me to, I will nap. I will.
How long? 30 minutes? 1 hour?
Yeah, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, if I can. If my kids let me, if my wife lets me, I'll nap. So it doesn't happen much.
You have time for your wife?
No, not much. She doesn't want any time with me anyways.
I think it's better since the laugh is bigger.
Jody's crazy.
One question, your workout style. So your workout, is it for normal people or is it for people who
I think what you tell you
are taking something to their body, you know?
Say it again?
Your workout. Is it for normal people so I can run and do it?
Okay, right. So that's why I'm hesitant, right? Because not everybody has this much time. Okay?
Not the time, the regeneration. I mean, I'm 20.
Oh no, listen, you can do what I do better. I promise you. I guarantee that if you were to use all my philosophy, I am nothing special. Any single person could do.
You are special.
Well, maybe, but everybody is. Everybody is, so long as you figure out the right amount of damage to do. You just can't do too much. So long as you don't do too much damage, you will come back. You will come back. You can do it 3 times a day. I know you can. You just can't do too much. You cannot make it hurt. You have to let that be your guide. And you have to understand that there's many ways to train. There's many ways to move forward.
Yeah, but you say you are not speziell. But if you, kurz Deutsch, zum Beispiel gegen Puschka,
Ja.
guck mal, wie schnell seine Kraft weg war.
Ja.
Und ich glaube, er trainiert auch so viel. Er arbeitet auch nicht. Er macht nur Training.
Ja.
Also hast du schon eine bestimmte Art von deinem Körper, was du
Ja,
aussetzt.
ich glaube, mit Pushkar, es war
Ja,
nicht...
so ein Beispiel, ja.
Ja.
It wasn't his prime, I think.
I'm not sure how to answer. I think, there are many people all around the world. I'm not the only person who does this system. I got this system from other people. I didn't invent this. I learned this system. I learned this system from the Russians. Bulgarians do something similar. There are tons of athletes all around the world training 3 times a day. It's normal. This is nothing shocking. Okay? You can do it, you just can't train so hard that it hurts you. You have to manage your intensity. Okay? If you can do that, this system will work. and it'll work, in my opinion,